On this episode of Nac Edition, a recap on the Nine Flags Christmas Parade and how Nacogdoches is getting into the holiday spirit, an update on local sports and your weather forecast, and much more. Stay tuned. Over the weekend, Nacogdoches put the ho-ho-ho in the holidays. Virgil Hatfield explains.
On December 4th, the city of Nacogdoches and McWilliams & Son Heating got together and put on the annual Nine Flags Festival. The festival brought out different vendors in the Nacogdoches area. It was the beginning of the celebration that day, as the Nine Flag festivities would stretch into a parade and firework display later that night. McWilliams & Son sponsored the stage for the first time, and with the help of Timber Creek Church, brought the North Pole here to sunny Nacogdoches.
We actually have Timber Creek Church here with their Santa Claus and their Skip the Clown. He's hilarious.
Was making
Up there
cheese
telling
pies.
Christmas stories.
Little Mouse
we'll have
was
lots
making
of
paper
dancers.
chains.
I know we have
Merry
an
Christmas
Elvis
to us.
impersonator.
Merry Christmas to us.
Benicia
Sang Little
Studio,
Mouse.
things like that. So lots
Big
of fun
Mouse.
stuff.
Have a place to live now.
Stockings were stuffed with local products, including all-natural bath bombs and homemade beef jerky. And bellies were full from the food trucks present at the festival. And kids even got their chance to take a picture with Old St. Nick. Happy holidays from the streets. Back to you in the newsroom. I'm Virgil Hatfield with Nac Edition.
Additionally to the Nine Flags Festival, they were also the responsible hosts of the Nacogdoches Christmas Parade. Over the weekend, our city's brick road could be found covered in Christmas decor that ranged from wreaths on the posts to floats on the street. Local clubs and organizations, schools, and restaurants showed off their floats to ring in the start of the Christmas holiday season in Nacogdoches. And to top it off, the Nine Flags treated the town to a firework display towards the end. Now here is a fun fact. Today is National Gazpacho Day. Ask anyone what they think of gazpacho and they'll say it's the chilled, more delicate version of boring tomato soup. But it wasn't always made that way. The soup originated in Spain and Portugal, later becoming a part of Andalusian cuisine, and was made out of a combination of bread, olive oil, vinegar, and water. During the 19th century, the red gazpacho evolved when tomatoes were added among the ingredients, this version spreading internationally. But of course, over the years, people have come up with dozens of modifications. Throw some spicy peppers in if you want to kick it up a notch, or if you prefer something green, leave out the tomatoes and make a cucumber avocado gazpacho. Now we know you're hungry, so go out and have yourself a bowl to celebrate National Gazpacho Day. And speaking of good eats, Nacogdoches is home to many local businesses, and our Jessica Enner will tell us one family's restaurant story.
Ann Crisper is the owner of Crock-Pot Annie's, a family-owned soul food restaurant located at 1008 East Main, Nacogdoches, Texas. Crock-Pot Annie's opened March of 2015 and since then has continued to grow within the Nacogdoches community. Ann Crisper tells us how it all began.
I started cooking in crock pots. My ribs, chicken, beans, greens, and all that stuff. So my son said they gave him an idea. So next thing I know, he was opening up. He had came down here and, Mom, we got a restaurant. What? It's Crock Pot Annie. What? Okay. Fine with me. Nobody had them.
Ann Crisper was raised on Shawnee Street, which sits on the corner from her restaurant. When asked what she loved the most about her business, she replied she loves the fact that she's back home where she grew up at. She loves to feed people, and the opportunity to see new faces every day just brings her joy. One customer tells us what he likes so much about Crock-Pot Annie's.
My mom's food. She used to cook like this.
This has been Jessica Enner with Nac Edition.
When we return, we show you how you're never too old for toys in the holiday season. Stay with us. This is Nac Edition. No matter how old we get, we can't argue that the kid in all of us tends to come out whenever we get around anything cool, especially toys. Well, Well, the Cole Arts Center here in Nacogdoches has managed to make history cool again. Here's Ebony Coleman with more.
With Christmas fastly approaching, the Cole Arts Center decided to bring the festivities early to Nacogdoches by hosting a toy and ornament exhibit. This is the second year that the toy exhibit has been held at the Cole Arts Center. The exhibit consisted of toys and Christmas decorations that are from the early 1800s all the way up until the 21st century, from Europe and England. Everything from bears, candy containers, and dolls like this early one from the 1820s could be found on display. While most of the exhibit was made up of toys, there was one collector who specifically focused on Christmas decorations. The bubble bulbs are a type of light you would have most likely seen on a tree in the 50s and the 60s, and they were made of methane chloride. He was supposed to be giving a formal speech, but SFA art director John Hansley found it more fun to demonstrate the toys to the visitors himself. Like this swimming doll that was made in the 1890s in France. Her body is cork and her limbs are wood with a porcelain bisque head. Or this train set that was made by Marx Brothers in 1927. One of the favorites of the day was this little guy, who was made out of paper mache and rabbit fur. He was made in France in the 1900s. Children would have received all types of toys during the 1800s, some more affordable than others, like these ready-to-sew dolls that would have been sent inside the children's cereal boxes.
Toys have reflected society's values, society's technology, fashion, advances in machinery. I mean, you name it. It's in so many ways, particularly toys, they preserve history by presenting a snapshot in miniature.
This exhibit not only allowed visitors a glimpse into Christmas's past, but it also brought up memories that made them reminisce about toys they may have had and things that they remember from their childhood. I'm Ebony Coleman for Nac Edition.
As enjoyable as toys are, something not so enjoyable? Taking exams. This week on the SFA campus is what they call Dead Week, the week before final exams week, which means the pressure is on for students preparing for their big tests. An SFA professor has some friendly tips for our students.
With finals right around the corner, stress levels are at an all-time high. During the week before final exams, many students tend to spend much of their time studying and preparing themselves for the following week. While it seems to be pretty normal, not many students take proper care of themselves to ensure maximum results for all their hard work. In fact, performance levels can appear to be significantly lower than expected. Here are a few tips to follow when studying for finals to minimize stress. Tip 1. Get some sleep. Too often, students pull all-nighters cramming in last-minute information. This is bad, because fatigued brains don't retain information, nor do they recall it. Tip 2. Eat, and eat well. Sometimes college students tend to either forget to eat or select unhealthy choices when under stressful conditions. Eating a balanced meal before a final can help keep you energized and focused throughout the exam. Tip 3. Silence your social media accounts. Give yourself a small break from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Try to focus your energy towards the goal. Professor of Journalism, Dr. Mayer, gives us his tips for final exam study.
Overall, my best advice, I think, do not cram. Study a little bit each night. Use the night before the test as a review session. Again, in the morning, something you've had a hard time learning, study that right before you go to bed. I bet you'll know it in the morning. And again, review the material that morning if you have time. So really, it's not that difficult. Happy studying. Good luck.
To students everywhere getting ready for exams, stay focused, stay encouraged, and stay positive. You've got this. With Nac Edition, I'm Jessica Inner.
Wrapping up the year, students attended their Big Dip ceremony at the Fredonia Hotel. Ali Flores shows us what they have to show for their success.
Last Friday, SFA's The Big Dip was held at the Fredonia Hotel Convention Center in downtown Nacogdoches. This was something new and exciting given the hotel has recently reopened this past September. The newly remodeled hotel welcomed family, friends, and students who were receiving their class ring.
The Big Dip meant that I'm one step closer to graduation. Having my family and friends there was really important for me, and it was so cool that it was at the Fredonia Hotel. I hope it continues to be there.
A new add to the event was a video showing how the class rings were made. And because the Big Dip is a big tradition for SFA, there was another room with additional seating and a screen that projected the event once the main room became full. Many people attended to see their favorite lumberjacks dip their hand into a vat of water dyed purple, receive their ring, and experience this huge milestone in their life. For Nac Edition, I'm Alyssa Flores.
Now that the Christmas spirit is in the air, the whole city is decorated to a T, and the kiddos are already making their lists and checking them twice. If that wasn't enough, the Nacogdoches Historical Society has one more gift in store for you and your family this holiday season. With Christmas just around the corner, the Nacogdoches Historical Society decided to step back into the past by decorating the Stern Hoya house the same way it would have looked during the Victorian era when it was still being used as a private residence. There were two families that lived in the home prior to it becoming the public library and then a museum. The first residents were the Sterns and the last were the Hoyas, who raised a total of 16 children in the home. Offering visitors just a glimpse into what a typical Christmas day would look like starts with everyone waking up to open their presents and letting the children play for a little while. Common presents that could be found under a Christmas tree during the time included a doll, a bear, or even books. Then the families would be off to church, and when they returned, they would all gather for dinner for a Christmas feast. Finally, it would be time to enjoy the rest of the day with music and games in the parlor. The staff at the Stern Hoya House did months of research to find and recreate holiday decor that would have been used during the 1800s. Visitors could have guided tours if they wanted more information, but you were also welcome to explore the home freely by yourself. When we return, your local sports update and your national, state, and local weather. Temperatures dropped pretty intensely this week, and Tanel Williams will tell us when we'll need our jackets. Stay tuned with us here on Nac Edition.
Hi, welcome back to Nac Edition. I'm Tanel Williams, and we're going to get into your national weather. We have a cold front coming in from the northwest here in Oregon and Washington, making its way down all the way through New Mexico and Arizona into Texas. Of course, as you feel the temperature outside, it's got pretty cold pretty fast. And the rain that we have had these last few days is making its way from the west coast through the bottom of Houston and Louisiana all the way up to the east coast, where they also are experiencing a lot of sleet in cold weather there. I know you can see it up there. And also in the Midwest around the North and South Dakotas, we have a lot of frozen rain as well as below 30 temperatures. They're probably experiencing snow up there. I mean, I don't know how they did with snow. I can't do it. And we're going to get into the local weather here in East Texas with the cold temperatures out today. We have the rain moving through the entire East Texas region from here in Nacogdoches all the way through Lufkin and Jacksonville. And we are suffering from possible sleet, I think, from outside earlier. The rain was pretty icy, so make sure you guys bring your raincoats and boots and umbrellas. Make sure you're also driving safe out there. The roads can get pretty slick, especially off the bridge that they had the new construction. There was problems earlier. Not too sure if that's going to be safe right now, so drive carefully. Also, let's get into our 5-day forecast. Temperatures aren't looking too good for right now. We have rainy skies with sleet with a high of 47 and a low of 40. The chance of rain is 70%. And for Thursday, we have cloudy skies with a high only of 53 and a low, very chilly, 27 degrees. And for Friday, the sun comes back out, but we only have a high of 56 and a low of 34. And for Saturday, more sunny skies, a high 60, a little warm, but still not warm enough, and a low of 31 degrees. And for Sunday, we have a high of 65 and a low of 36. And we're going to get into our calendar of events. Nacogdoches is pretty busy this week. We have a lot of events for you guys. Tomorrow, on Thursday, we have the Hank and Patsy Live and Music of Country's first superstar concert. It's at Nacogdoches High School in the auditorium. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. through 9:30. The tickets are $25 in advance and $30 for general admission. And for Friday, we have the Fall Teacher Job Fair from 9 to 12 in the HBE. Also, a choral Christmas celebration held by the music department. It'll be in the W.M. Turner Auditorium. It starts at 7:30 and will end at 9 p.m. And for Saturday, we have the Christmas tour of homes from 1 to 5, presented by the Friends of Nacogdoches, the organization to showcase people decorating their homes around the town. Admission is $25. Make sure you get there and see all the nice decorations and Christmas ornaments people have set out. And of course, next Saturday we have the Fall 17 Fall Commencement Ceremonies, one at 9 a.m. and one at 2 p.m. in the William R. Johnson Coliseum. Make sure you go and support your graduates. And of course, 2 Mondays from now, we have Christmas. Make sure you guys get your gifts. Santa's checking his list. He's checking it twice. Okay, and after the break, we'll get the scoop with Colton Hart with sports. Stay tuned with us. This is Nac Edition.
Welcome back to Nac Edition. I'm Colton Hart. Well, unfortunately, as the semester has started to wind down, so are sports. But that doesn't mean that our basketball teams are going to take a break and slow down. Both teams pulled a win this past weekend. The Lady Jacks had an explosive start to their game this past weekend when Chanel Hayes scored a pair of free throws on the Lady Jacks' first possession of the ball. Then, on the next possession, Imani Johnson scored a three-pointer, putting the score at 5-0. South Dakota then fought to make some points back and managed to get the score to 8-7. But then the Lumberjacks went even further as Hayes, Harris, and Parker all helped to get the lead to 13-7. Then the Lady Jacks extended their lead even further by forcing 6 turnovers and getting several layups, scoring their free throws when they were fouled. The Lady Jacks seemed to slow down a little bit in the second quarter of the game, but still managed to fight off the Coyotes and finished off the half with a score of 41-24. The Coyotes, after the half, came out really strong, scoring several three-pointers, but the Lady Jacks pushed through and outscored them 16-15 in the last quarter. Two of the Coyotes were fouled at the game, and the Lady Jacks managed to go 14-11, finishing the game at 77-55. Top players in this game were Taylor Jackson with 10 points, Imani Johnson with 9 points, Stevie Parker with 16 points, and Chanel Hayes with 12 points. The Lady Jacks are now 6-1 in overall, better than anyone else in the Southland Conference. And it was also a crazy weekend for the Lumberjack basketball team, as they beat the Louisiana Monroe with a buzzer-beater three-pointer, winning 68-65. The Lumberjacks did not have a very good start during the first half of the game. A large contributor to this was they simply didn't score a lot. At one point, the Lumberjacks only scored twice in 10 minutes. Both points were scored by T.J. Holyfield. The Warhawks, on the other hand, had a great offensive run, going on an 11-point run when they were behind, making sure that they would not be trailing far behind. Holyfield helped the Lumberjacks turn around and go on a 7-1 run, putting the game tied at 20-20. The Warhawks then fired back and managed to score 11 points, putting the score at 31-27. After the half, Holyfield came back with a straightaway three-pointer in the first 58 seconds and helped score 11 points that put them ahead, 38-32. Just as the Lumberjacks were starting to take control over the game, Warhawks managed to get two three-pointers and 3 free throws. With the Warhawks ahead, Bogues, Holyfield, and Gilmore managed to go on a 16 and 3-point run that put the Lumberjacks ahead 55-48. The remainder of the game would be filled with the Warhawks tying the game and then the Lumberjacks getting ahead slightly, with the score being 65-65, and with time almost out, Augustine got the rebound shot and a three-pointer right as time expired. The team then ran around in celebration of a crazy shot to win the game. Top players for this game, of course, were T.J. Holyfield, who scored 24 points, and Aaron Augustine, who scored 10 points, as well as Kevon Harris, who scored 11 points. This puts the Lumberjacks at 7-1, and which is better than anyone else in our conference as well. The Lumberjacks have had an awesome start to their season, and I can't wait to see what happens in conference season. Well, guys, we're going to switch on to national weather. This has been a crazy week in terms of coaching news. With me, I have Trevor Bullard, who's our other correspondent for sports. So, Trevor, what do you think about Jimbo Fisher getting that $75 million contract deal with A&M.
Well, you know, Jimbo's been a good coach at Florida State. He won a national championship in 2013. He's won the ACC 3 times. Good coach, and A&M just has better facilities than Florida State, and they're going to pay him $75 million over, I think, either 10 or 7 years. So he's going to make a lot of money.
A lot of money, yeah. I believe he went 83-23 when he was for 8 seasons when he was back at Florida State. Also in coaching news, this past Monday, the New York Giants fired their head coach, Ben McAdoo. What do you think about that? Do you think this is a good move for the Giants or not? They also fired their general manager, Jerry Reese.
Well, you know, the Giants are 2-10, excuse me, and they lost their best receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. He had a couple good games this year, but he's out for the season with a leg injury, and you know, the season's just been really terrible, and so I think it's a good move for the Giants. I think McAdoo, you know, he had a good first year. They went 11-5, but after that, they've kind of just been, you know, kind of a poor team, and I think it's a good call for the Giants.
Do you think Eli Manning coming back is going to be the best move for them, starting quarterback?
Well, Eli has been there forever. He had the second longest consecutive starts in NFL history, and I think benching him was a poor decision because Eli, he has won them 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots.
He's a good player.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that the Giants made a poor decision benching him, and it'll be good to see him come back.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where the remainder of this season will take them, and as well as next season. Steve Spagnuolo will be interim head coach for the time being. And like I said earlier, Eli Manning will be taking back his starting quarterback job. So I'm excited to see what's going to be happening. MLS soccer news. This weekend, this Saturday, will be the MLS Cup. Toronto and Seattle will be facing off. I'm a Sounders fan myself, so hopefully we will see them pull out the Cup win. Well, guys, that's all I have for sports with Trevor Bullard. I'm Colton Hart. Back to you, Natalie.
The Twilight Zone is coming back. The 1959 show is making a comeback with director Jordan Peele. The hit sci-fi show is planned to make its TV return in 2018. I know that I personally did not really watch the Twilight show, or Twilight Zone, rather, but I think maybe some of my fellow graduates here did. Before we go, we're going to say our farewell and our congratulations to the graduates here at SFA for Fall 2017 class, including those in our own studio. If you want to make your way up here, we've had a really, really wonderful time this semester producing Nac Edition for you. Many of us played a lot of different roles here in the production room and in the crew room, anchoring, weather, floor managing, video playback. We've been very blessed, very fortunate to have some pretty incredible professors also to teach us how to work everything here in the newsroom. So a special shout out to Miss Williford, to Dr. Hart, to Dr. Grewley, to Dr. Bradford, to everyone here in this department. Thank you so much. It's been fun. It's been fun. Yeah, thank you. We will see you after the new year, and thank you for letting us produce Nac Edition for you this fall 2017 semester.
Axum.
Axum Jacks.